Give thanks, Jah, for another rise. Give thanks, you know. Rise with faith. All things are possible. As I watch the sun rise from the east, I also rise. Give thanks. Mama just pray for me. 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 Planting these plants, you know, and taking care of them, watering them, you know, comes with an expectation. Yeah, you want to see them come good. You know, likewise, you know, when a mother and father, you bring forth a child in this world, they want the best for that child. You know, sometimes even you have to wait until, you know, the plants grow to identify the weed different from the actual plant. You know, where there is a saying that says the wheat and the corn will grow until the day of harvest. In the midst of this container is a spirit weed, you know, where I use that and think about my inner man, the inner spirit within me. You know, and when I look on the outskirt of this container, you know, I planted some seed, which the flower is called Zena. You know, but as small as these plants are, you know, sometimes you can't identify the plant from the wheat or the weed from the actual plant. So this look like the actual plant, Zena. But when you can't identify, you know, you have to allow the wheat and the corn to grow until the day of harvest. You know, even though you're anxious, because where I get these seeds from, I see how beautiful the plants are, you know, but based on that beauty, you know, I'm anxious to see what these plants will be like. But even though I'm anxious, I still have to wait, you know, wait and see what nature will do to these plants, the different seasons that these plants will go through. You know, likewise, I think of a mother and father bringing a child in this world, you know, and even before the child born, the mother and father have an expectation what that child will be like or what that child will become, you know, sometimes based on culture norm. You know, that child born, you know, beautiful, you know, there's so much expectation. Yeah, but living in a crazy world like this, you know, the wheat and the corn have to grow until the day of harvest. Yeah, sometimes we, you know, share great principles with our kids, you know, and sometimes when they start go to school, they adapt to peer pressure, and different kids from different environment, some come out, you know, not bearing to the pressure, of their peers, but they always remember the values that their mom and dad instill in them. Some kids grow with their father alone. Some kids grow with their mom alone. Some kids grow in foster home. So it all depends, where they are at whichever time or, you know, whatever environment what they adapt to, But if we live for ourselves, we live in vain. But if we live for the universe and God, we live again. So with all the expectations that we have, we just have to hope for the best from the universe. Take care of the plants. Take care of the kids. Yeah, man. Peace. So I have to water the wheat and the actual plant until I can identify the difference between them. Yeah. So sometimes you have to accept the good and the bad until good can eventually prevail. Give thanks for the present season, and how these plants can manage in this season. Some plants do well in autumn. Some plants do well in autumn. Some plants do good in spring. Some plants do good even in summer. Yeah. But however these plants do, I have to just depend on the universe. I have to nurture and care for them to the best of my knowledge, and leave the rest to the universe. Sometimes when a child born, because of the culture that we grew up in, and the experience that we see other people have, things that happen to, some other people's kids, we judge even our child, from in the womb, that we even say some things from early, that if my child come and do that, I'll disown, I'll do this and that to that child. And we don't even realize that we condemn our own kids from in the womb. We have to speak more life on our kids from in the womb. When the mom is pregnant, we have to speak more life upon that child. Speak life. Speak life, not because you see certain things happen to another child, you are gonna judge and say, if my child do this, what I will do and what I will do to them. Yeah, sometimes you manifest the things that happen to your kids because you speak it into being before it actually happen. Parents, speak life to your kids. Like what my grandmother always said to me, if you live for yourself, you live in vain. But if you live for God, you live again. you know. So when you say certain things about your child, that's being selfish. That's just been living for yourself, you know. But if you live for God, you will live again. So live for God. Don't be selfish. Speak life upon your children and your children. And you know, speak life. Mama just pray for me. Mama just pray for me. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, remember our kids as they go out on a daily basis. You know, some adapt to the pressures of their peer, some withstand, you know, some remembers the values that they were taught. But remember those who withstand and remember those who adapt to pressure. Mm, 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 mm. Sometime when you realize that you are pregnant, you know, with a child, maybe at that moment you weren't ready, you know, maybe you weren't prepared, maybe you're not mature, but seek help from someone that can help you care for that child, you know. Sometimes because you're not ready, sometimes because you're immature, sometimes because of all those things, you're so angry, you know, that you aren't able to nurture and grow a child. But seek help, you know, get help in nurturing and growing that child so that you don't have to put out your hunger upon that child. Seek help. Mama just pray for me. Mm, mm, mm. A community should raise a child. So if in your community or in your area you see someone that is not able to grow up a child well, to grow up a child in the way that they should grow, help them grow that child. Yeah, make it your responsibility to grow that child. Mm, 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 mm. Sun is shining, the weather is good enough. As I watch the sun go down, I give thanks likewise.
Mommy, just pray for me.
Rise.
Mommy, just pray for me.
Jah. Yeah, man, whole heap of blessing, Parents, instill value in your kids.